Chicago, Matt Cain and Dave Righetti are approaching the logical end of their dozen-year professional relationship, an extraordinary stretch of continuity between a right-hander and his major league pitching coach. It only makes sense. Their fondest memories of one another involve throwing things. Righetti won't forget the time that he noticed Cain, as a 20-year-old bull in a china closet, beginning his long toss routine to get ready for a start. Most pitchers throw parallel to the warning track. Cain was perpendicular. Righetti knew that wasn't how it was supposed to be done, but HMMPFH, okay. Part of coaching is letting players learn their own lessons. So Righetti didn't say anything. In retrospect, he wishes he would have. How could he have known that Cain would err a throw into the bleachers and hit a fan in the head? Cain won't forget the time that Righetti, fuming over an umpire's inconsistent strike zone as well as a rookie left-hander who wasn't handling it too well, flapped his arms in frustration and accidentally flung his pitch counter over the dugout rail and onto the field. Almost to the third baseline, said Cain, his voice full of mirth. And then the best part, he had to go out and get it. Now, all these years later, Righetti is in his 17th season as the Giants pitching coach and Cain is coming down to those last few clicks. The Giants hold a $21 million option that they have no plan to exercise. Assuming this is Cain's final month as a Giant, he would end a tenure here in which only Juan Marichal has started more games. Only Marichal and Gaylord Perry have thrown more innings and only Marichal and Tim Lincecum have struck out more batters in the franchise's 60-year history in San Francisco. It's a tenure that is as decorated as it is durable. It includes 3 World Series rings, a lower postseason era than Madison Bumgarner's, really, and in 2012, starting assignments in all 3 playoff series clinchers. And, of course, the only perfect game in the Giants' 135 years of existence. Righetti, 58, has been there for all of it, every humbling moment and heady triumph, pushing him at times, counseling him at others, scolding when needed, and often yielding space to fail with the understanding that personal growth stands a better chance in the black soil of personal failure. What a rarity in this transient sport. For every start that Cain has made, Righetti has been in the dugout keeping a close eye and counting his pitches. For every side session, Righetti stood watching alongside, a half-folded towel over one shoulder, sunglasses perched on his nose, and a sanitary sock loaded up with extra, mud-rubbed baseballs at the ready. For every clubhouse champagne celebration, after Righetti slipped away for his quiet cry and Cain blinked the domestic brute sting out of his eyes, there was that moment when they would find one another, and no words were needed. There is plenty to be said, though, as you'll see. Both men recently sat down to share their thoughts on one of the most unique working relationships in franchise history. Righetti, I want to say it was his first big league camp. 2 things happened that I won't forget. We played B games back then and he pitched one against Oakland. I remember Felipe, Alu, being there, and me, the whole staff. We drove over early to watch. There was an incident in the game. Someone was hitting him pretty good, might have hit a homer off him. Next time up, he nailed the guy in the head. He didn't mean to do that, but he definitely had a streak in him. Cain, I was thinking I had to have that mentality. A guy took me deep, so I have to make sure the other guys know I'm not afraid to throw inside. And being 18 years old, I'm out of control, and to hit a guy, that's awful. Right then, I felt awful. That's not how the game is supposed to be played and I knew it. But Rags knew my intention, going inside, and that I wasn't trying to hurt anybody. Him seeing it was good. It ended up being a good learning experience. It was really the first time we started to understand what each other was about. Righetti, he's such a young guy, but he was in big league camp because he's so hyped up. I just remember him coming up to me and he said, "Hey, so, can you let me know when I'm going to start so I can call my parents and they can come in to watch?" Laughing, I said, "Okay, I'll take care of that for you." He said it not in any kind of, he wasn't trying to be cocky or anything like that. It was just, "Okay, sure thing, kid. I'll take care of that." Cain, yeah, I definitely do, remember that. My mom and dad were coming in, and I was young and oblivious enough to ask him. Looking back on it now, you're like, wow. Those are the things that come out of your mouth at a young age. But he knew it was so innocent. There was no intent behind it. And he didn't tell any of the older guys because he knew they wouldn't let me hear the end of it. But yeah, I remember it. Probably B.